So a good friend of mine, she sent me this interesting article from the New Yorker, and it's titled "The New Literalism Plaguing Today's Biggest Movies." Essentially, what it does is it breaks down the ideas of movies that are coming out now and how they're kind of lowering their standards in regards to storytelling, quote unquote, dumber audience, if you will. It's like the moments of a character does something in a scene. Visually, we already get what that scene is trying to convey here, but then they say something that's just really hammers that nail on the head to the point where the hammer goes through whatever you were trying to nail in. It feels like, especially with Mickey 17 that just came out, that's been such a problem, or just something going on, like a recent pattern with movies, more so than it has been in the past.
I have to 100% agree with the article. The ideas of the films are just broken down to be much simpler for audience, which it's kind of hard because I agree that they should and agree that they shouldn't. So the one thing that I thought about was when they talked about Dune Part 2, Dune's a very in-depth book. And Denis Villeneuve's movie is a simpler version, where I kind of understand that a little bit more. But going back to Mickey 17, that movie, I think it insulted my intelligence a little bit.
Mickey 17 is a story where, like, it's about that validity and of human life, and like how corporations and, high people higher up in the world are looking down at human life and truly treating it to a certain extent. And I think visually they do a good job of showing that. But throughout the movie, they really, through needless dialogue at times, do kind of rehash that same point over and over again. And it has you roll your eyes at some point. Again, not every time that this quote unquote new literalist utility is used, it's not necessarily always a bad thing.
No,
But it's just like how common it is in today's movies. It just feels a little belittling. And to have a movie that is the exact opposite of that with Black Bag, that juxtaposition between Mickey 17 and Black Bag is incredible, with how Black Bag doesn't even really tell you what the true plot is, straight up. It lets it build over time and it lets you figure it out. And by the time, everything's revealed, the movie's over.
it's a hard line where, yes, I do think you need to respect your audience intelligence, but also I do think there is times like Dune Part 2 that you kind of have to break stuff down to be a little bit more simpler.
Yeah, and this isn't anything new. It's no new development. This new literalist take has been around for the majority of cinema's lifespan. I just think it's just more prevalent now, and that's why we're seeing articles like this in the New Yorker presenting themselves in their argument. So I don't know. It's something we'll definitely be on the lookout more so for now. It shouldn't hinder you from watching a movie, whether it does utilize that or not. I mean, even in the article itself, it does mention how a movie like Conclave have elements of new literalist features in there, but at its heart, it's more of a true film that leaves more to the audience's mind than it does to its narrative storytelling and messaging.
And at the end of the day, film is such subjective, and if you enjoy one film and someone doesn't enjoy it as much, that's okay. It's
No, it's
not.
not.
Yes, absolutely. You have to agree with Ethan and I at all times.
We are objective queens.
Queen!
Slay!
But really, at the end of the day, I think it is a really interesting article that I encourage other people to go check out and kind of see where you're kind of at. I think it's important that we aren't just going at quick form content and diving deeper and understanding and developing it and trying to understand as much as possible.